grand afternoon, grand evening, or grand rest, wherever you are, whenever you tune in. In this session of Oracle at Dawn, we're going to be wrapping up from where we left off with that specific person edition of Oracle at Dawn. And this is something that we may just return to from time to time with flow and without force, of course. Before I go into the cards, beloveds, I'm going to say a quick command blessing over this session and our space, as well as our person. Dear source of all that is, was, and will ever be, I thank you today and each and every day for all you do and all you do through us. And we stand in your divine authority, commanding in alignment with your perfect will. By the power of divine law, we open our lives to abundant security, stability, and protection. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. Every case, cause, concern, conflict, and negative confrontation dissolves into nothingness. By the radiance of your light, we command true prosperity to flow into our lives. We command good fortune to follow us in all things. We call forth true love, divinely ordained, harmonious, and eternal. Our hearts and souls are aligned to receive and give love in its purest, most sacred form. May our paths be illuminated, our spirits fortified, and our lives a testament to the boundless grace of the Creator. So it is, so it is, so it is, and so it shall be. Hello, beloved bro star Raven in the building. Grand rising, grand afternoon. Creative Mindy also in the building. Yay. Hello and welcome back. This is going to be the second portion of that specific person edition session from. It was a pre-recorded premiere for part one. Here we are going live for part two as promised. Perceivably a day late, but time is an illusion anyway. So here we go. Divine time arrives on time, every time. We were looking at the Four of Fire and whatever was coming out behind it in our immediate environment. And in this case, brace yourselves, because this is where we left off, beloveds. This is where we paused. Grand Rising, Jim's camera on music. Bosta in the building. Welcome back, beloveds. As we were drawing things to a close in the last session, again, it was a premiere instead of a live. This is where we left off with the World card and the Four of Fire. Okay, beautiful sister, you are free to listen hands-free and do your thing in the background. And so here we are. In terms of what our specific person has to say, your specific person wants nothing but that joy and contentment and gratitude abound. They also want you to know that you have been making strides in your life towards your higher self without even realizing it. He's got the whole world in his hands. Yes. Something about that, beloveds. You are someone's world, but your faith in something greater than yourself, higher than your current self, is impressive. It's impressive. As a matter of fact, it's leaving a lasting impression on your specific person with that world card coming out. This is major arcana. This is long-term energy here. More long-term than if a court card were to come out. Or a pip. But we're looking at a beautiful pip here with the Four of Fire that came after the Queen of Swords and the Dreamer. Archangel Metatron is also in the building. Looking a little closer at the World card. A move to the next level. No one's reading about any books here, beloveds. May you be well and have a nice day. Cosmic awareness is what's coming in. Not only for ourselves, but for our specific person as well. Freedom. 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 Archangel Michael oversees our divine life purpose as a protector of humanity. They know what roles your soul has been born to fulfill. Let's continue with the Angel Tarot. Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source. What is it that the collective's specific person would like them to know at this time? Here we go. Oh, that took no time at all. Let me show you. Out come yet another major arcana, renewal, Archangel Jeremiah. I do believe this is in the Rider-Waite, the Judgment card. But this isn't really about wake-up calls at this time. It's more like your specific person is witnessing you realize your soul's purpose. And they're cheering you on. as a result. Also, any cases, causes, concerns, conflicts, and negative confrontations will be resolved in our favor. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, in our immediate orbit, we have Archangel Jibril. Here we have, and then we have the awakening. In the Rider-Waite, this is the Hanged Man. And I just heard the collective is falling backwards. Anyone have any guesses what it means to fall backwards? It means that we are on the rise, beloveds. Flying high. Flying high. With the protection of Jibril and Jeremiah, as well as Metatron and Archangel Michael. Our A team is on their A game, but so are you, beloveds. We aren't falling, we are rising. Someone really needed to hear that today. Yes, they do all play a role, and they all have specific duties that energetically it's not so much of them being not allowed. They do have specific duties that they are required to honor. And we can go into a bit more of that. With Archangel Michael, the warrior of God in all of the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Islam, and additionally a saint in Christianity, Susan. Yes. So, interestingly enough, Archangel Michael is also the one who calls out Uriel, Raquel, Raphael, Sariel, Gabriel, and Ramiel. In the book of Tobit stands ready to enter before the glory of God. Beautiful. Now with Gabriel, meaning God is my strength, or translating to man of God as well, rendering it as hero of God, conveying divine power and messages to humanity as our beloved messenger angel. And of course, Metatron plays a similar role working in communication. However, Metatron is the one who carries our messages up to the ethers, our prayers, our messages. The strength of God. A central figure appearing to prophets, announcing births, And even in Islam, Jibril revealed the Quran to Prophet Muhammad, emphasizing their role as a divine communicator. Gabriel represents communication, clarity, guidance, as well as new beginnings, and also associated with strength, courage, and the ability to manifest divine will. These angels, their gender is fluid, embodying both masculine and feminine qualities. But gender is more symbolic of energy rather than physical sex. All right, Metatron. There is more to Metatron. The angel of life and the scribe of God, assisting us in our spiritual growth and ascension, providing guidance and support through our journeys, including our journeys with our specific person. Sacred geometry, the Metatron's cube, symbolizing the blueprint of creation, and is seen as a divine messenger from the universe, as well as the activation of our crown, signifying our connection to the higher realms and spiritual insights, as well as our ability to recognize a deeper connection with our specific person, promoted with healing, clarity, as well as additional protection. Being guided towards our true purpose and enhancing our spiritual well-being. So, they are announcing to those who may not know, beloveds, that it is an honor and part of their duty to be your A-team. And they want you to know, and your specific wants you to know, that not only is your A-team on their A game, so are you. So are you. We have Metatron. Gabriel is actually out twice because in part 1, Gabriel also showed up with the Empress card. So, double emphasis on that energy. Oh, goodness. So, when they show up more than once, that means that they have more than one specific duty, but that means they're also taking on multiple tasks on the behalf of the collective. The message with the Empress is that our one true love, our specific person, wants us to continue to take good care of ourselves. Also, there's something relevant about our child selves here. Embracing the new that's coming in for us with childlike wonder and awe. Gaining a whole new perspective, or otherwise remembering our innocence and seeing these divine connections through the eyes of a child. Childlike awe and wonder. For those of you who are single, meaning unmarried, expect there to be a lot more nurturing coming into your life, either specifically through your specific person or simply through divine timing. You have the Midas touch. Anything that you give your time, love, and energy to will flourish. Hello, Audra, in the building. Yes, good early AM to you as well, beautiful sister. Ravens dropping jokes, making fun of my horse dog, which is actually a fire horse. It just isn't finished yet. These taps and swishes of the brush are gradually forming what looks like a fire horse. Hello, Mustafa. Hello, hello. Thank you so very much for popping in. Mustafa says, Sissy, despite being busy with work and having little time, I won't miss the opportunity to say hello to you and everyone here. Sis, queen of all queens. Wow. That is quite the accountability and responsibility to carry. Audra, you haven't seen it yet. Give me just a moment. Perhaps some of you may see what Raven sees. Apparently, my horse looks like a dog. This is where we're at so far. This right here is not part of the horse. It's actually supposed to be fire. But I put the highlight aspects of the fire in first. So there's going to be more red, orange, and that coral color here, as well as in the mane and in the tail, and also around here. That's not part of the horse either. Right here is the belly of the horse, guys. And this is the chest. So this all here, all this random tapping going on here is it's the beginning of another blaze similar to this. But I will be touching it up, of course. I'm adding more as we go along. I'm taking my time. It will take shape. It will start to look more like an actual horse and not a Great Dane or a terrier. But I must admit, when I first started, the muzzle was wider here, and I realized that there are different breeds of horses, and they don't all have the same shaped head and muzzle, okay? But not everyone may be aware of that. So, my horse was looking a bit more like a pit bull terrier than a horse. Give the horse a bone. Give the dog a dunce cap. That's my answer to that. Love you, bro. All right. Let's put this back off to the side now. Yes. Give the horse a bone. I say give the dog a dunce cap. And your specific person found that hilarious. Since this is a session about what our specific person would like us to know. Oh my gosh. Behind the Awakening card is another major arcana. I cannot make this up, you guys. Hold on. Oops. Look, another major arcana. Here's the Empress from the bottom of the stack because it came out earlier in my pre-recorded premiere. Then we have the Awakening. Then we have the Moon card. Definitely. Definitely. Um, I had a Arabian and a quarter horse. And their bodies and heads were different shapes, as well as they come in different sizes. Those Clydesdales are much bigger than an Arabian. That Clydesdale would tell the Arabian to go eat several cheeseburgers, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But yeah. Foxtrots. That message is being held for review for some reason. And I'm going to show it because I don't see any harm done. Unless somebody, like, is there like a darker meaning to foxtrot? Oh my gosh. I don't really think there's a dark meaning to foxtrot. It is a dance and a breed of horse. It's also the phonetic code word representing the letter F. Like Foxtrot Delta Tango for FDT, a common phrase used to express opposition to Donald Trump. Oops, did I read that out loud? I'm unbiased. I'm unbiased. Oh, goodness. So now you have me curious. The Missouri Foxtrot originated in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri. Man, I've always wanted to, like, have a dual residence in the Ozarks, and I'm not afraid of cryptids. I'd split them in half. But moving along, we'll just say my avatar's bigger than theirs, and my A team is stronger. Yes, I'm not afraid of cryptids. Oh, goodness. So, yes, that quarter horse that I was just speaking on, his name was Charlie. He lived a long life and was about to be sent off to a refinery, if y'all know what that means for a horse. Yikes. Well, if you know the plot to the show Ozark on Netflix, and you're kind of saying something else now, aren't you? I have seen that series. And that's some look, that's just a lot of shenanigans. No, if I were to go to the Ozarks, it wouldn't have anything to do with gambling. Oh my gosh. You noticed that too? Um, yeah. Actually, part of the reason that I even started watching uh Ozark is because of the whole, like, the suspense and the mystery of the Ozarks and the superstitions. They did have a little bit of, like you're saying, a darker edge to them than Arrested Development. Um, we'll just say, like, when I was younger, my parents would not have allowed me to watch Ozark, but they would have allowed me to watch Arrested Development because I'm pretty sure that show came out. I was still young, but I wasn't that young. I was in my 20s when Arrested Development came out. But hypothetically, if these shows came out in the 70s and 80s, I wouldn't have been allowed to watch them. My mom was pretty strict. Which one? Arrested Development or Ozark? All right, Jim. Hey, Jim, while you're here today, I'm going to drop my email in the chat again for you guys. Anyone who would like to um be forthright, of course, respectful of my private information. Um I'll be dropping my email specifically for uh this channel. For anyone who would like to book a session. And it doesn't even have to be the cards. If you just want to book some time with me and chit chat. I there's just certain types and levels of advice that I can't give. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer. Otherwise, we are now on a side quest here. But something tells me that our specific person wouldn't mind the side quest at all. Dog Tool says, I've never been able to still, no matter what age. You've never been able to watch the shows? I may not even know some of the shows mentioned because I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of television when I was younger, and that habit just kind of carried over into my adulthood. So I've also never heard of three body problem. Didn't even know it was a thing. Um, I don't even remember the last time I got on Netflix. An American science fiction television series. The third adaptation of the Chinese novel series Remembrance of Earth's Past by former computer engineer Liu Cixin. That plot actually sounds pretty fascinating. It sounds like something that I would actually dig a little bit. If it has like elements of like past lives, um yeah, I would dig it. Or like time travel, sci-fi. I dig sci-fi. Probably it would be my favorite genre in terms of film. I avoid the drama. I don't watch violent movies. I rebuke them. They rattle me. But I mean, if it's like a light bat, as if there are such thing as a light battle. Oh, maybe let's not call it a plot anymore. Oh. Don't go digging in the plots. You're adding double meanings now, and I love it. I love it. Don't go digging in plots if you don't work there. Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't think anyone here would want to be taking on the profession of an undertaker. Or, anyways, lots of side quests today. Apparently, our specific person wants us to take a break from thinking and talking about them. Laser light battles. I was actually allowed to watch Charlie Chaplin classics, but when I was a little kid, I started having a fondness for like radio. Exactly, the Undertaker or the Overtaker. You guys are coming in with the greatest senses of humor, and I dig it. Um, as part of a class project, we all took turns being like the voice of radio, so to speak. We did a radio skit, but it was really from behind the curtain. It was perceived to be a radio skit. Uh, trying out all the little different um voices and uh like the animation was in our voices, and I had a lot of fun with that. We did like a short skit of the Wright brothers and Amelia Earhart. My gosh. I like nearly forgot. Anyways, it was all all in a nutshell, it was about airplanes, how airplanes were developed supposedly and introduced to humanity. But anyways, I enjoyed more like being the voice versus like the silent cinema where you still have to dress the part, you have to um be very expressive in your motion and your facial expressions and things of that nature. How is what possible? Specific person would be like your spouse, your partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, whatever, whatnot. But also divinely ordained, like not just some random person, we'll just put it that way. Your soulmate, twin flame. Your specific person is someone you have soul ties to and not just a physical connection. Dog tool. I love your humor. Sincerely. Thank you for bringing it. I love it. Anyways, 4 side quests later. Let's get back into these cards. Doing a little storytelling with the cards about the collective specific person and what they have to say. So, I'm now going to move away from the tarot into a different deck. All right, we're going to go into the Lovers Oracle. The Archangel Raphael Oracle. And wherever else my heart is led as we continue along. We're going to go into the Archangel Raphael messages first. The Archangel Raphael Oracle. For more of what your specific person would like you to know at this time. Here we go. We've been going for nearly an hour. We'll probably go for about an hour and a half before I end this live. All right, we just made a full pass with the Archangel Raphael Oracle. Let's see what we have here. Well, you won't see, but I will. That's why it's called a blackout session. Let's see here. Honoring and respecting your body's needs. They say you're looking a little parched. Drink some more water, kids. They want you to remain optimistic, but also a bit more than optimistic at the same time. Like, expect some kind of miracle in the forthcoming. And only you are going to know what that means to you. It's going to be different for everyone. Based on your current circumstances, you may be begging for a miracle. It's hard to say. It varies. Call upon Archangel Raphael to thank them for this miraculous intervention and healing energy coming in for restoration, regardless of who it's necessarily affiliated with. All right, let's make another full pass with the Archangel Raphael Oracle. I must have bored you, dog tool. You're no longer responding. Okay, another full pass. We had 2 more cards come out. Increased energy and acceptance. Ultimately here, our specific person just wants us to Except that regardless of how we see it, everything is going in the right direction. Thank you, Raven, for popping in to remind me you're still here. All right, you know what? We're going to make one more full pass with the Archangel Raphael Oracle. Here we go. Ooh, unconditional joy. Our specific person wants us to have appreciation for where we are at this time. They want us to call upon Archangel Raphael for healing and guiding all of our relationships upon the path of love. Don't pew pew the messenger now. Don't pew pew the messenger. But we have something about caffeine overload. I mean, if a coffee addiction if a coffee addiction is our biggest problems, then don't sweat it. All right, we're going to do a split. We have a good night's sleep. Our specific person wants to make sure that we are getting adequate rest. They want us to relax. They want us to relax. Wow, Raven, that's a lot of peeing. That is a lot of peeing. That's a lot of bathroom trips. Especially for someone like myself who has a tiny bladder. It doesn't take much for me to get a distended bladder. Let's go into the Lover's Oracle now. Oh, we had a card already turned over in the deck. I just cannot. And I'm willing to bet it's a goodie. Hold on. Looky here. This card, of all the cards, was turned over inside the deck. So before I even had a chance to shuffle, let's see what it says. Oh, soulmate. No way, Sway. This is a soulmate twin flame session. Our specific person session here. Lo and behold, the one card that's turned over inside the deck just so happens to be the soulmate card. They're already with you in spirit. Believe this, and they will manifest physically. How interesting is that? Me too, Raven. I was actually accused of FOMO, which is redundant, when what's really happening is we're getting by on less sleep. It's not a matter of neglect or not getting enough sleep. It's just that we we don't require as much for some reason. And it may mean something a little bit different for each of us. But ultimately, there is no carved in stone sleep pattern or amount of rest required for each individual. You any of the old school teachings of, oh, you must get 8 solid hours of sleep, blah 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 blah, not true. It's not true. Each and every one of us have our own specific needs as much as we also have our specific person. And some of us just require less sleep, you know? I can get by on 4 hours. Especially resting well, knowing that our specific persons are already with us in spirit, no matter where they are manifested in the physical at this time. They could be in another room, they could be in another house, they could be another town, another state, even another country. Uh, Pedro. We'll just call you Pedro. Hello. If you can stick around, I will grab some tarot. You can call me John Peter. Hmm. Well, let's take a pause from the Lovers deck real quick, guys. And I'm going to go into a different tarot deck. And it's going to be Tarot of the Divine. This is a beautiful deck. All right. I'll just show you the cover of the case here for a bit of insight into the art. It's very well done. And then we have, this is the back side of each card. So well detailed. In terms of the artistry. Love it, love it, love it. So this is the deck I'm going to be using real quick. And let's see if we can't get a little bit of insight into this question. A marshmallow? It's a moon phase. Raven. If you turn it this way, it's the moon phases. Not all of them. But the waning, the waxing, the full, and then, of course, the new moon would be the darker Anyways, perhaps I'm taking you a little too literal, Raven. Toasted marshmallows. That's better. Anywho's, let's get into this Tarot of the Divine for a bit of insight on John's question here. Why do I feel like John and Peter are supposed to mean the same thing? We're all adults here. Here we go into Tarot of the Divine. Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source. Let's get another look at this name. Will John Peter's ex-friend Gianni come back to their life soon? Okay. Out we have the Nine of Cups and Page of Swords. To answer this question, yes. Yes. But if some kind of gossip or prying into your life in ways that weren't invited has anything to do with your departure and why you're not connected at this time, then don't expect any changes, is what I'm seeing here. If you parted ways due to gossip, spying, or some kind of dishonesty, I wouldn't expect any changes. So the Nine of Cups is wishes coming true. And the Page of Swords is the gossip, the spying, the prying, the dishonesty. So it's giving that be careful what you wish for kind of vibe. Because it will come true, it will come through for you. But you'll also still be dealing with the same old at the same time. Or they're still on their path of healing, so they could still be holding on to some kind of resentment or anger or mistrust of their own, where as they're communicating with you, they could just be pouring their heart out to you, but it sounds like weak sauce. It sounds like gossip. Oh, so it was you who created the mistrust. I'm picking up on mistrust and some kind of dishonesty. But it didn't necessarily have to be them who was being the one prying. But I am getting the message, John Peter, that whatever it is you did, it does involve an element of truth that the other person didn't want to deal with or didn't want to face. Whether it was a truth about you, a truth about them, a truth about another. See, what happens when you put gossip and truth into the same pot, especially when they marry well, it's harder for you or the other person to decipher. Is it truth or is it just gossip, assumptions, half truths, or a truth that was revealed with negative intent? A truth that was revealed with negative intent. So, if you are really wishing upon a star for this person to come back into your life, I would say yes, sometime in the future they would come back into your life, but the circumstances won't be much different. Let me take a look at the bottom of the deck, see what we have going on in the immediate environment. Oh my gosh, another 9. Let me show you. Bottom of the deck, 9 of coins. Then the 9 of cups and the page of swords that came out first. A wish coming true pertaining to the gossip, the spying, prying, dishonesty. And an abundance of it. It's been more than 2 years, blocked everywhere. With the 9 of coins, this may not necessarily be the message that you want to hear at this time, but since it's already in the immediate environment, already here, already done, what I'm getting with the 9 of coins here is that they just feel as though they are better off on their own, or whatever it is that you had in mind that you had it out about. It's like they're saying you're on your own. You're on your own with it. Because the 9 of coins is also about solo pleasures. So you went on about your business, but then you just started randomly thinking about them a few days ago? That's telling me that their energy is still in your orbit. Oh, yep. Hold on, I gotta show you this now. Behind that 9 of coins, right? In the immediate environment, which is the bottom of the deck. Okay. The Ace of Wands. This is some phallic energy here. A lot of heavy masculine energy. And the ones indicate a new start of some kind. So, that fiery, passionate, masculine energy is still in your orbit. It's still part of your environment. Even if they aren't with you physically or around you physically, their energy could be attached to you. It could be attached to an item. It can be a number of different things. But you know, when we have deep, intimate connections with another, it does leave a residue energetically, like their residue is left on us, so to speak, okay? So you could be picking up on that randomly, but that's not what I'm getting in the whole. As a whole, there is a chance that they're going to re-enter your life in the future, but they're going to want to be in control, and it's mostly out of spite. I just heard mostly out of spite. But with the Justice card behind the Ace of Wands, it's going to feel like all fairness to them. Because we now have the Justice card out for you. There's that Ace of Wands that we just took from the bottom of the deck here. So what I'm getting with the Justice card is fairness and equity. So this means a couple of different things. That they will re-enter your life, but there's still a little bit of spite. And they may try to implement boundaries and ground rules and take command in such a way where it's like, I'm hearing it's like flipping the table on you. Okay. Like some kind of approach that you had towards them at some point in time is like they want to come back into your life to be dominant, but to also, by giving you a taste of your own medicine, they see it as being fair and square. Please do not pew pew the messenger. I am simply the messenger. So, there is a chance that your wish is going to come true, but it's not going to be all lollipops and rainbows. There will be some tension, some passionate responses in some kind of way. They may just chew you out. They may attempt to just make you feel how you made them feel. Okay. I'm going to do a split. And we have the Hanged Man in the split. I'm going to show you. Here's where I split the, okay? And this is what revealed itself, the Hanged Man. And I'm getting also 2 different messages with this card. Turning your life upside down to see from their perspective, to know how it feels. But also, when that fairness is applied, a new perspective is formed. A higher perspective. So it's like ultimately they would make amends with you, but not without some kind of jab in there somewhere. Like, whatever it is you did to them, they're not going to let you forget it. All right? Not right away, anyway. But with that new perspective forming soon afterwards, it does show that there is a potential for change and higher ideals forming later on. But at this moment, with the tower, right behind the hanged man, yeah. Their first response is unfinished business with you. Okay. And the tower represents upheavals. So they may come back into your life, but not without some kind of disruption. All right. And I'm feeling guided to leave that alone from there. Otherwise, it's just going to start sounding like it's coming from me and it's my opinion towards you or a personal attack. And it most certainly is not. And I really like that perspective, Raven, with the destiny ultimately being redemption. But that makes Gianni, okay, no better. It makes them no better. If they were to return with some silly like vengeance, they would just be knocking themselves down a peg to make a point. And that's that tower moment. Towers can also mean good things. It can mean rising above the chaos. Okay? With gaining a higher perspective, rising above the chaos. But for the most part, what I'm getting is that a new perspective will not be formed without the upheaval. So, even if they're not playing in your face, they would definitely try to basically like rub your nose in it, okay? That's what I have for you. I wish you all the best in your journey. All the best. Best foot forward as well, though. All right. Let's get back into this Lover's Oracle deck here. To get back into the collective messages. Soulmate, first card out. Not only first card out, but it was already turned over inside the deck when I took it out of the box. So that's a great way to start. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit, whether you're already a physical, like a couple in the physical or not. And as a reminder, soulmates are not always romantic connections. You can have a vocational soulmate, somebody that you're meant to be in a partnership with for the long term. I don't even want to say all the way into retirement because this involves the kind of work that you don't want to retire from or you might just get bored. Okay. Nevertheless, whether it's a soulmate in vocation or a soulmate in romance, It is a soulmate. And they are about to become part of your reality. You can also have more than one soulmate. Your soulmate could be a friend, a pet, heck, even a grandparent, aunt, uncle could be a platonic soulmate. Ooh, I just did a full pass. I just did a full pass, and this is the card. Some of the collective, whether you are partnered up or not, has a secret admirer. Otherwise, whether it's a secret or not, someone who knows you has deeper feelings for you than what they are letting on. Regardless of your circumstances, whether you're living with someone, married to someone, or just dating but not playing the field, if you know what I mean. Like you're dating someone but you're not seeing anyone else. Wouldn't that be something? I never really understood the dating world, the dating pool. Sounds like a dirty pool to me that I don't want to be even dipping my toe in, let alone all of me. Okay. But nevertheless, some of you, this admirer is a secret. Okay. For others of you, they secretly admire you. And even more so for others of you, you're very well aware of this companion of sorts, but you're not aware of their deeper feelings. All right? Let's keep going. Back into the Lover's Oracle. Source, Holy Spirit, Messenger of Source. What other messages do we as the collective expect to hear from our specific person? Unbeknownst to us, of course, Holy Spirit just said. Ooh, we got manifesting miracles. And then the other card is not titled. Okay, I'm just going to show you the images first. And then we will turn them over. What I expected to be a blackout session is becoming more like show and tell. So these are the images here that just came out. All right. This is that manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. You see how there's that flickering effect on my camera? That's why I was opting for a blackout session. Because it keeps doing that. I don't know what's causing it. This is not titled, but the image is gorgeous. And the message is, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. Might as well get a close-up of this one as well. Manifesting miracles. Our dream is about to become reality. Trust our hearts and continue to follow its guidance. Yes, I made it plural, because why would I want to leave myself out of this equation? Hello. I am part of the collective. But for the most part, I would like to remove my own energy from these messages. All right, let's keep going. So beautiful. Beloveds, your specific person thinks you are the most beautiful thing in the world. Oh, and someone said cosmos, most beautiful thing in the cosmos. Hello there. Queen Raven. Now we have 2 ravens in the building. Hello, welcome. Thank you so very much for popping in. All right, now with one of these images, I do need to cover the card a bit for a moment here so I can show you the image, but also in a more discreet way. We have this gorgeous image here. And then we have this one here that we have to cover up a little bit, because although all he is doing is giving her a massage, okay, we'll just say she doesn't have a towel on. So I said, here, honey, you're going to need this. And I gave her one. Okay. Cover up. Leave a little more to the imagination. That may be a message for some of you from your specific person or from your A-team. Cover up. Leave a little more to the imagination. All right. Oh, I forgot to flip them so you could see the messages. Hello. Okay, first one turned over. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. Wow, I think that message is more also in alignment with John Peters' inquiry. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Also, I'm like picking up on cheating. Cheating, not necessarily below the waist, but cheating. Okay, I've flipped this other card over already. To be more discreet, this is all about healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. All right, now I'm going to slide my device this direction so I can flip that other card back over. And give the lady something to cover up with. Yes. Raven. So we have a queen and a king. All right, we're going to make one more pass with the Lover's Oracle, and then I'm going to move on to another deck. Oh, goodness. So, you're not going to believe what I just did. Hold on. Look at all of these cards that just flopped out of the deck. And this is the only one that really landed solo dolo. Beautiful. You are trying too hard. Give it time. And now let's dive into these. Okay. Oh, right at the bottom of the stack, we have new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. And behind that, okay, now I have to show you because these cards are matchy-matchy. Similar, but not the same. And there's several. And then a lot of these cards are showing very intimate moments. So I can't show you the entire cards. But much like I had to do just a second ago, we will be bringing in some towels. Sheesh. So we have this card, and this card. I see an increase between this one and this one. Okay. And then this is the first one for me to take a look at. And it's the one that I just read about new beginnings. New hope, new adventure. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. Now with this one, let's see what it has. Ooh! Sorry. I'll have to fix that later. But this is what's on the other side of that card. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available. Follow it with faith. And then this one, similar. This one reminds me of like an upgrade. Like going from this to this would be an upgrade of some kind. Let's see what it says. Close, but no cigar. When you pass from this world, that's a heck of an upgrade, I'd say. You take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you've shared with those you love. So, what I'm getting energetically and intuitively from this card is that your specific person most certainly is not judging you by the thickness of your pocketbook, okay? That message of, people, places, and even belongings we can't take with us into the next life. But wait, there's more. Now I'm feeling like, oh gosh, my arm is starting to hurt from having to hold the device. So I'm going to try something a little bit different here. See if I can't get this camera situation taken care of. By mounting it. We shall see, yo. I'm mounting it on a candle holder because my mount that I would typically clamp down on the side of my table to hold the device, it broke because it was cheap. Here we are. That's the best I can do for now so that I can deal with the cards. Get this feather out of here. While also keeping her covered because I know I'm going to need that feather again. But we'll take a look at this one first. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You will be surprised where it leads. And I'm getting that this is also how your specific person already feels about you. Like you need to be more with the flow. Flow versus force. But also, some of you have been resisting that change, and that's for those of you who haven't united with your specific person. It's that change that you've been resisting that's also like you getting in your own way of that particular union. We also have this lovely image. Power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. We also have, oh, this is where we break out the feather again. This lovely image. And its meaning is passion. A magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. Thank you, Queen Raven. I sincerely appreciate that. And Ancient King. Welcome in. Thank you so very much for popping in. I'm going to pull you guys up on my other device here so that I'm not retching my neck to see the device that I'm filming on. Thank you. Ancient Kings, Z270. Why did I first read that as Z28, like a Camaro? I first read that like a Z28. Hello and welcome in, by the way. On 2/22/2026. I just realized the date, yo. The last few days have been just kind of flowing. I guess this image isn't too bad. That one's just kind of showing. Hold on, where'd my feather go? Ah! What the hecky doodles? We're just gonna put that there. Keep her booty covered. It is 2/22, February 22nd. So let's take a look at that. Okay. Just the 3 2s as an angel number. I'm not going to read every bit of it. I'm only going to go with where my heart is leading me to look with my physical eyes in order to see with my non-physical eye. And for more specific messages here, in terms of love and relationships, a reminder to communicate effectively, cooperate, and nurture mutual respect. For those of you who are single, love is in the air. Oh, oh. Love is in the air. It's on the horizon. But so is the call for more patience. You are going to be aligned with somebody who complements your life. Whether it's a temporary love connection or something more permanent. Either way, it's going to be complementary to you. It's not less conflict, more complement. All right, that's what we're going to put out there. Less conflict, more complement. You could try to go the romantic route with each other and just decide to be really good friends. Like a natural parting after a temporary connection. But nobody involved is getting played. Holy Spirit just said no one is getting played. It's a mutual respect, whether it's temporary or otherwise. And what other people are doing with their time in a temporary setting is nobody else's bizzo. Yes. Whoever it is, they want to see you living an abundant life. They want to see you successful in your endeavors. They have faith in you. And they want to bring in divinely ordained and orchestrated support in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be a little different for everyone for the most part. All right, let's keep going. We also have this lovely image, which we also have to cover a little bit. All right. Literally, all she's doing is grounding with a tree. And because her tata is showing, we have to cover her up. She's giving thanks for the blessings soon to come her way. And somebody's getting a heck of a laugh out of this. Yeah, literally all she's doing is grounding with a tree and giving thanks back to Mother Earth, Grandmother Gaia. And we have to cover her up. Just know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly. Oh, that flickering on my camera. It's bugging me so much. This is why I started out with I was going to only do a blackout session and leave it to your imagination with the cards. But I don't know why I felt like it wasn't going to be enough. Like, you're going to want to see the images. So here we are. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. And of course, those blessings of love still coming your way. I don't know where my feather went. So we're covering all these random body parts with a lighter and other cards. Oh, dang. Okay, we got to cover this one too. Another beautiful image. Something that we don't do until trust is established. Okay, embracing in this manner. Something that we don't do until the trust is established. The message. Trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. So it's like, oop. Hold on. We're going to use this card to cover this one and this one, like so. This is giving more of that like self-sabotage in a relationship form energy, guys. I don't really like to be the messenger of those kind of messages, but it's like, get out of your own way. There's something that you haven't accepted about yourself and others. It's like, pride. You're allowing pride to get in the way of something. Sacred union. You're allowing your pride to get in the way of a sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. Even if you aren't together yet or living under the same roof. The cosmos has determined it is meant to be. But not without some kind of attitude adjustment. And we're not talking about the kind of attitude adjustments that our parents used to threaten us with in the 70s. Okay. Not that kind of attitude adjustment. Let's see what we have at the bottom. I don't even have to say it. But again, we're all adults here. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. So it's like how we treat ourselves is also going to give others indication of how we would treat others. All right? Best foot forward, beloveds. That's what Holy Spirit just said. It's time to put our best foot forward. If you haven't already. All right, and then behind that, this card isn't nearly as explicit, so it's going to be placed over this other card that I just put down. But the message is, don't rush. More confirmation on that patience. Don't rush, whether you're already in a partnership or not. The flow. The flow is the Midas touch, Holy Spirit just said. The Midas touch was mentioned earlier. And it simply means that wherever you go, whoever you're with, whatever you're doing, you always leave the people, places, things, and situations better than before you entered. So by taking your time to be more thorough on yourself and to demonstrate true confidence, okay? Others will be able to tell if you're faking the funk when it comes to your confidence. Holy Spirit is bringing this to my attention for this specific message, okay? You can't rush perfection. So you might as well just remember the turtle. Like Noah said the other day, remember the turtle. That steady, but also, I keep hearing slow. Like this isn't a race. That slow momentum is fine. It's not hurting anything or anyone except maybe somebody's ego at this time. Wanting to rush, rush, rush. Get right down to knocking boots. Now that song. Oh my goodness. Don't laugh, guys. That song, Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under, just popped in my head. Whose bed have your boots been under? Oh, that's hilarious. Naughty, naughty. We do have this lovely image at the bottom of the deck. I'm covering up her tata. It is what it is. Oh no, not a bareback. Oh, bareback, bareback. Did I say that out loud? Anywho's, if you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. Hey! You sound like a country Britney Spears. That's hilarious. You should have heard me when I was a kid. Not a kid, because ain't nobody around here, a baby goat. When I was a child, Okay. When I was a child, I definitely had more of that southern twang, but I wasn't alone. Like, um, my family's been scattered all over since day one, and a lot of southern United States influence in our dialect. So I'm probably the most plain English speaking of all of them. But I also had to take 4 years of speech therapy, and it took away my drawl because they were like, that's not how you pronounce that vowel, or that's not how you pronounce that word. I still mispronounce words. Me too. When I set out on my own, I ran away from home when I was 16 and I didn't look back until it was like just a few weeks before my 18th birthday. And I knew that everything that I needed to start my life was going to be on its way to me. Like, I took my general diploma testing when I was 16, but they couldn't give me my certificate until I turned 18. Um, as soon as I had my, so what happened was, because I'm skipping steps here in the story, I ran away from home, but shortly before my 18th birthday, I had to return to home because I broke up with my boyfriend and it was his father's home that he was renting. So, of course, I had to be the one to go. Even though I was helping out, I had to be the one to go. So, back home to mama, I went. But within a couple of weeks, I already had another job lined up. And I knew that my educational documents were going to be on their way. On my 18th birthday, I was already working. They allowed me to show my old student ID to get in the job. And then once I had all of my other documentation necessary, I was able to show the remainder of the confirmation of my identification and my education afterwards. On my 18th birthday is when I received my certificate in the mail. And then away I went again. I went and stayed with my aunt and uncle for a few weeks at their house because they were in town. My mom lived out in the country and I needed to be able to walk to work. So that's what I did. Y'all remember Kmart being around? You have a Kentish accent because, well, Raven, where do you live, my dear, beloved Brostar? Yes. Um, it was one of my first jobs ever. And I started out as a floater. They were putting me in multiple different departments and ended up staying in one particular area of the store, but operating multiple departments because I worked in hard lines, soft lines, fitting, and jewelry. So, because they were all crunched together in one area, I was able to work multiple departments at the same time. But I didn't have to work alone in fitting, and I didn't have to work alone in jewelry. Sometimes I did, but sometimes I didn't. Like, I wasn't always, like, the only one working several departments at the same time. And I loved that job. Working in soft lines for Kmart was like, I felt like it was my leg in to work in fashion. And that was part of my dream, was to run off to New York and get into the fashion scene. Well, that didn't last long. I wasn't very well protected and ended up in a bad crowd there too. But not for long, because as soon as I caught onto their shenanigans, I ran away from them. So it's like life has felt like run, 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 run until no more. Our specific person wants us to know, especially in any case where we feel like we've just either been running away from something or running towards something our entire lives. Remember the turtle, slow the F down, relax. Divine time is on time every time. And whatever it is that you would want to do, your specific person is going to be in support of that. And they want you to know that they are in support of that. All right, let's get these cards out of here. We're going to bring in a different deck. And I'm going to be more mindful to grab one that doesn't show particular bits and bobs of the body. Oh, goodness. Let's go into the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Yes. Yes. Queen Raven. Absolutely. Raven, I knew that. Bro Star, I knew because I paid attention and listened when you mentioned that prior. The part about Kent. And then we were talking about I was teasing you to try a different accent, and you had mentioned in your live that you struggle to do that. But I remember you mentioning but also back to Queen Raven saying, I've been sending my soulmate that message. I'm always getting the sign that he's moving through life really fast to the point of burnout. And I have to agree. Um, and in some instances, that's us and not our specific person. It's us, the trailblazers. But misinterpreting our duties as trailblazers. To blaze trails doesn't mean rush, 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 nor does it mean to actually set anything on fire. Except maybe that God spark within. We can fan that flame all we want to. It's ours. It's our fragment of God. Our specific person would love to see us expand that inner spark. Okay. Those who are meant for us not as property or possessions, but as partners. They are not only ever going to want the best for us, they're going to want us to be accountable by putting our own best foot forward and not in a rush. Like, oh my gosh, I can't emphasize that enough. You can't rush true love. You can't rush perfection. And when you apply too much pressure on a twin flame experience, guess what happens? They run harder. The more you obsess over them and get all up in their grill, guess what? The more they're going to be like, red flags. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. They will deny their own soul bond, their own soul cord, because of that type of energy. The runner will run if the chaser comes on too strong. All right. Somebody needed to know that. Let's get into these cards for some more. For the collective. Whoa. I nearly knocked things over and broke my device. But here we are, nevertheless, going into the mystical shaman for more of what our specific person would like us to know at this time. So it's not just about any kind of soulmates. We're going back to that specific person, that soul cord connection. Because as I was saying earlier, we can have multiple soulmates, many, and not, if not most of them, platonic, like friendships and vocation connections, but otherwise, not nearly as deep and intimate as the Jaguar in reverse. Let's see what this means. I opened right up to it. When it's in the reverse, we read the medicine, okay? What in your life needs to be released? Your specific person is like, look, if you want me to become like fully manifested into your reality, something's got to go. Something's got to give, okay? And what have you carried around with you for far too long, which is ready to be let go of once and for all? For a lot of you, this is that fear of commitment. Or that fear of letting go of people, places, things, and situations without ever having anything else come in its place. But with the Jaguar medicine, beloveds, healing is available. It's time to end the shadow games that you may have unconsciously agreed to play. Right. Z28. Early, I was like, why was I thinking of a Z28? And look, good eye. Queen Raven, good eye. Somebody's going to be rolling up on you in a Z28. Somebody's gonna be rolling up on you in a Z28. Not all of you, obviously, but for some of you, somebody's gonna be rolling up in their. Why am I now hearing tone loc? Oh my gosh. They're gonna be rolling up in their Z28, bumping some tone loc. Funky Cole Medina. I hope they have a sense of humor. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh. Yes. They're gonna be rolling up old school. Well, our kids might think it's old school. Or grandkids, coming into the world later on, they might think it's old school. A Z28 bumping tone loc. But hey, it's gonna come through for somebody. It has to be now. Exploring beyond the walls that confine you. Your specific person wants you to spend a little bit more time outside of that hermit mode. They want you to come out of the caverns. Something about toxic relationships, though. The Jaguar wants us to unfetter from toxic relationships and recover our natural instinct for the right people and situations. Wow. So for some of you, it's just a matter of getting your house in order. We're doing the inner work on you and maybe doing a little dusting. But for others of you, this is a whole brand spanking new connection after departing from a toxic relationship because it came out in reverse. Because is she being the upright, beloveds? She brings courage and certainty. And in this case, there are people, places, and situations you are uncertain about. Whether you're already in a connection or not. At the bottom of the deck. Ooh. Already in the immediate orbit. The Heart of Sky. This is quite possibly one of the best cards in the deck that we could receive in the upright. And right behind that, the rainbow. So regardless of your current circumstances, some changes are in order here. And ignoring that is only going to make the Most High, the universe, who or whatever it is you pray to, get louder. I just heard, get rowdy, get tough. Get rowdy, get tough. Get rowdy, rowdy, get tough, get tough. Get rowdy, rowdy, get tough. That's a cheer that I learned in elementary school. Get rowdy, get tough. Get rowdy, get tough. get rowdy, rowdy, get tough, get rowdy, rowdy, get tough. But get rowdy in the sense of like that genuine confidence and courage that I was speaking on earlier. Stop being afraid of hurting somebody's feelings with true integrity and courage and confidence. You're not setting out to do that. You're not setting out to hurt others. You're setting out for that full potential with the rainbow. You are not just one ray. You are the prism, the arc, the covenant come alive. If this doesn't give Ion Sophia vibes, I don't know what else does. The embodiment of that Sophia consciousness, divine wisdom, discovering your full potential. Especially in terms of relationships. And it's not about playing the field either. It's about that inner knowing without knowing how you know that if you approach your specific person and you're looking all sloppy and your self-esteem sucks, they're going to know it. And it's not going to be attractive trying to fake confidence. Wow. Oh, look. At the bottom of the deck and in the immediate orbit, we have the moon card out for the second time. 2 different decks. No flippin' way. Look what's right behind it. So now I'm hearing opposites attract. On the surface level, you may not even have very much in common. But what you do share in common is plenty. I'm hearing all of it, no matter what. Look, serving with some kind of dedication towards humanity and all of creation. I now see like a series, a timeline playing out here, going from the cosmic. It's like we had to shrink ourselves to even be manifested in these bodies. We had to go from that cosmic to elements of the moon, elements of the sun, and all of our facets. In other words, there's like more that needs to be known. There's more to be revealed in terms of the full potential. On the surface, it looks like polar opposites, but what differs between you and your specific person is a complement to your energy. And there really isn't anything missing. Okay? Anything lost, anything missing is an illusion. So, what I'm getting here is that you can move past your differences because of how well the energy complements one another. The child self already in the environment as well. There was mention of that in the beginning, which is telling me that this message is coming full circle. Starting out with the same messages that we would be drawing this to a close with. Queen Raven says, my old nickname was Rainbow, so I guess I am more than one Ray. Haha. I love it. At the center of it all, Holy Spirit is asking me to place this in the middle intentionally. Because this energy that's going to either lead the collective back to their specific one, or at least opening up your hearts enough to be in full acceptance, full spectrum acceptance. Holy Spirit just said full spectrum acceptance of one another, flaws and all. Perhaps even some of you finding like an innate and unique beauty in your specific person because of what would often by others in the mainstream world be interpreted as a flaw. But in all actuality for you, it's not a flaw. It's like there's a name for that too. Like when you find yourself more attracted to those who don't have a perfectly symmetrical face, or like one ear might be slightly higher than the other, or whatever, one eye is slightly bigger than the other. I have one boob that's bigger than the other. I mean, let's just be real here. Like, but that's all superficial, surface level, okay? And your specific person has that mature authority to see beyond the surface and into the sustenance. So those differences are complementary to them and you. That's that fairness and equity. But it's not a transactional connection. Good morning, Jessie Lee. Happy Sunday to you. You. Yes, good morning. Welcome in. We're actually getting ready to wrap things up here in a little bit. Approaching 2.5 hours. About a half hour longer than I anticipated. But we're just going to keep going. My mouth is getting a little parched though, guys. I did not grab myself a beverage. So I'm going to make one more full pass with this deck. And then I'm going to go into these cards. For whatever it is our specific person would like us to know at this time. We also have the Time Master and the Corn. At face value, I see that you're becoming more group or team oriented. like community oriented is the better way to put it. And managing your time better, which is admirable. Like you're becoming more of a humanitarian type soul, and you make the best of your time, energy, and love. All right, we'll go into those cards just a minute. I'm going to put them up at the top. Right here. So you know the energy is still on the table. Going into the heart of sky. In terms of what your specific person would like to know at this time. They want you to be more confident about your creativity. And there's something along the lines of resetting your intentions in terms of your life. Resetting your intentions. Naming your target and resetting your intentions ethically. And then more confirmation of getting back into that flow over the force. Allowing the Most High, the universe, whomever, to take care of the rest of the details. So, over planning is a thing of the past, beloveds. And those kind of expectations lead to disappointments. And your specific person wants you to know that as well. Too much planning, it only leads to high expectations, which furthermore lead to greater disappointments. So let go of the nitty-gritty details and just go with the stinking flow already. Ah, with the moon, you've been too focused on your outer appearance. What you look like is irrelevant, Holy Spirit just said. Your specific person is going to love you, every inch of you, inside and out. Some of you are workaholics and you need to slow the frig down. Some of you have been buried in your work and not giving your specific person that adequate time, love, and attention and energy. It's time to come out of that cavern. That's why the jaguar was out first in reverse. Coming out of that hermit mode and being a bit more social, especially with your specific person. For some of you, your specific person is doing similar work in the background. So that just like there will be some natural partings occurring, there will also be some natural connecting occurring. But there will not be any of that jumping from one ship to another. That's why I said reset your intentions ethically. Even if it is a natural parting and it's mutual, We're not going there. It could wreak havoc. Holy Spirit said it could wreak havoc jumping from one ship to another. And probably smell a little funky too. For some of you with the moon card, your specific person is mirroring you. And for others, they're simply holding the mirror to you. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Do you? They really want to know. And that mirror is multifunctional because they want you to see what they see, but they also want you to see what they see, but with a different meaning. Like, for the ego work, the inner work, a twin flame is going to hold that mirror to you and your ego until you taper it, until you give the ego a little haircut. Taper it, so to speak. Some of you are just coming on a little too strong. And it's giving the impression of overconfidence, even though for the majority of you, it's not overconfidence. It's just the ego. For the most part, your specific person really feels as though that you have a lot more to reveal to the world. And now is a better time than ever to get started. Hello, Tiger God Alien. Welcome in. Tiger me, yes, both can sink. LOL, smells natural. I think I understand. Flow like water. Yes, Bruce Lee did say that. Uh-huh. Flow like water. What's going on, Tiger? Are you saying that someone's stink is also someone's natural smell? I just blushed, and we're not going to go there. Some people do put off stronger scents than others due to that pheromone production, trying to attract their partner, their specific person, the person who is going to be the only one to know that smell instinctively, intuitively, honing in on that scent. We'll say natural scent, because it might seem funky to others, but it's not going to be funky to them. It's meant to be funky to others, so that only your specific person is going to be drawn to that scent.
It's going to make sense to somebody listening, whether it's now or in the replay. But, I mean, so does good hygiene. So, it did come out earlier in the Archangel Raphael Oracle cards. To take good care of yourselves and put your best foot forward, and especially when it comes to your health and hygiene. Yes, put your best foot forward, including your health and your hygiene, and not just the theatrics of putting yourself out in the world, the productivity. I say theatrics because being measured by our productivity, I believe, is so wrong. But nevertheless, it's like being called lazy when you're really just feeling under the weather and you don't have the physical capacity to get things done. Now think of that in a multitude of other ways of how that could be applied to your life in terms of that misinterpretation of energy and contributions and blah 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 blah. If they're trying to compete or compare, they're not for you, beloveds. Your specific person would never compete with you. Not directly. Perhaps indirectly it may crop up. But as the messenger here, I'm here to tell you, your specific person wants to know that they will never try to compete with you intentionally, nor will they compare you with or to others, including themselves. They also feel that you would have a very strong influence on others, but in a positive way. They're showing you with the moon what you've been hiding. The best parts of you. And now I just heard them, the best parts are free. Now I'm hearing Monica, angel of mine. I used to get her voice and Brandy's voice a little bit mixed up because I wasn't really allowed to listen to a lot of different kinds of music growing up. My mother was strict. I mentioned that already. But so, and also my hearing is not 100% ever since I was an infant. So I would hear just the similarities, the similar tones between Brandy and Monica. And so it was like when the song Angel of Mine first came out, the first time I heard it, I thought it was Brandy singing it instead of Monica. But, anyways, that's another song of the day for the collective, Angel of Mine. I'd put it on now, but I can't do that. Or I would have to private this video. Good morning, two signs and Buddha in the building. On my end, guys, this really has turned into Oracle at Dawn. I'm starting to see daylight.
Daylight, whoa, daylight.
Like, it's that beautiful periwinkle twilight blue outside right now. The sun. Well, oh no. I also see a new sheet of snow, yo. It snowed overnight. It snowed overnight. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to show you. Out the window that I would have my device posted in. Get you propped up here. Look at all that snow. It wasn't there yesterday, I can tell you that much. Well, we can swap places because I would love to be in Arizona. If only it were that simple, right? But yeah, also, I didn't realize that I had close neighbors on the other side of my back tree line until this year. So, yeah, that's pretty wild to me too. But when I'm doing coming out of the dark videos, it starts out dark outside, and then we live feature it going from dark to light. And I just love it. I love watching that transition. Even if we don't get to see the sun in the background because of the angle of where the sun rises is not going to be featured in this at this angle on this property, but we do still get the pretty colors that come with the sunrise and everything from time to time. But I really just wanted you to see the pretty periwinkle blue in the sky from the twilight. And the golden dawn is going to be coming in. From what I can see, since we have an overcast going on, I personally, oops, the dang screen. I had it to where it focused on the screen. Now it's going to focus on the screen. Hold on, guys. Try this again. Oh, no, focus on the screen. Anyways, I don't always get the gold from the sun. It's more obscured and a different color because of the pollution. So, in the part of the United States that I live in, oops, there has been a lot of emissions in the air for quite some time now due to those Canadian wildfires. So, um, yeah, when you're seeing the sun in those different colors and you're like, ooh, how pretty. I'm like, well, if you knew the science behind why that sky is that color and why the sun is that color, you would not be saying, ooh, how pretty. Because it's the chemical reaction. It's the emissions in the air. Anyways, enough about that. I really just wanted to show you the pretty twilight and then the snow briefly. All right, now we're back where we were. Booyah! And it's time to continue onward into the rainbow. If you've been dealing with some difficult times in your lives, whether you're with your specific person or not, they want you to know that some kind of ease of that flow is coming in. I can't give you a specific time or date, but it's coming in. And it's also going to involve that support of your specific person. When the rainbow appears, the end of a storm is near. Holy Spirit just said, when the rainbow appears, the end of a storm is near. There's that parrot. For some of you, a regurgitating parrot is actually your soulmate. Like somebody who has obviously been picking up what you've been putting down and repeating it. Boop, ba-doop, boop, boop, boop. They're specifically for you. Fair warning, they might also like to talk a lot. Your specific person would also like you to know, whether you are currently with them or not, they would like you to know that they do not encourage you to give up. Regardless of your circumstances, things are about to take a positive turn. Interestingly enough, this is an Oracle at Dawn message, and part of the message of the rainbow is, I'm going to go into the guidebook now so I can show you. Part of the invitation of the rainbow here. Persevere and remember that it is darkest just before the dawn. Don't give up. Keep doing that inner work. Keep pursuing your dreams. with or without them right next to you all the time. Holy Spirit just said, continue to pursue your dreams, whether they're right next to you or not. Now I'm hearing interconnected and interdependent. There's a difference between being codependent and being interdependent. Hello, Edwin Poole. Welcome in, my friend. Thank you so very much and happy Sunday. Man, my mouth is really dry. And I just went blank, guys. So these cards that we have on the table are going to be the last cards that I read for this session and how we draw this to a close. Your specific person also wants you to know that there's nothing wrong with a little bit of naivety. Especially when you have willingness to embrace change, embrace new beginnings, and even that learning curve. I'm seeing all kinds of learning curves. Practically every card has something round in it. I'm not. I was about to try to show you every single card, but then I changed my mind. Every single card has something round in it. That learning curve. There's something that we can learn from all of this. Whether you're already with your partner or not. And for some of you, it's not even a romantic partner. It's all bizzo. But it's a platonic friendship. That rare platonic friendship that also makes an excellent business partner. They're few and far between. I know. I get it. I've been there. I've had multiple businesses, and I don't have any of them now. So, lesson learned. It's the field of dreams. Corn represents the mother of sustenance. And I was just speaking on sustenance, our sustenance. Our specific person can see through the surface into our sustenance. And they, admittedly or not, they love what they see. Your specific person wants you to celebrate how far you have already come. The kind of prosperity that's measured in quality rather than quantity. And there was also, I picked up earlier from the corn card, I picked up humanitarian efforts. Putting your whole heart in or not at all. If your whole heart isn't in it, don't commit to it. Or that lack of commitment will lead to resentment. Also, not sticking around for those who are not fully committed to themselves, let alone you. And it will be obvious. It'll show up in the environment. The shenanigans will reveal themselves. They always do. Or the other party. The other party has been known to get tired of the wait on the sidelines and start squealing, singing like a spring chicken. Ha! Like a parrot, regurgitating what they see and hear like a parrot. If this hasn't already happened, some of you are going to be having some kind of encounter with the source. Somebody who is like immediately connected to the shenanigans that your current partner could be in for some of you, not all of you. Some hanky panky. Some traveling and hanky panky that has been going on. And this is where you let go. They're trying to desperately hold on to you, even though they strayed, but it's on you. It's on you to see through to their sustenance as well and realize that it is not in alignment with your soul's purpose. Probably not even in alignment with their soul's purpose, but it's not your job to fix it. It's our responsibility to move on. No longer giving it our energy. But also releasing any insecurity about scarcity. Feeling as though you won't be able to make ends meet, or you're going to forever be alone and struggling. No. That's why the rainbow is here. That the struggle isn't going to last. Tough times do not last, but tough people do. You hear me? Beware of the shortcuts. Beware of the shortcuts with the corn. Beware of that. There is more to be revealed as well that you've been holding back on, like you're afraid to show too much. Whether it's in a relationship you're in now or one that is of potential. You're afraid of revealing too much too soon. But there's also that mention of that lack mindset, feeling as though if you move on now, what are you going to do in the meantime? Practice being more resourceful. Practice being more resourceful. Ouch, Edwin, I just read your comment, dear one. Well, when that deprived joke became reality, anguish turned out raw. Yes, I can relate to that. Okay. As well as your second statement, I value myself and the encounter of those who represent the same invaluable value. Yes. Matter of fact, Master number 22 and 222 came out in today's message. So I'm going to be ringing in the bell, and we're going to be ringing in that message for the collective by way of Edwin Poole. I value myself and the encounter of those who represent the same invaluable value. But I'm also getting the message to not allow one group of people, places, things, and situations to influence the mindset of an outcome for another. It can't be had in their hands. I bequeath that while leaving the shadows taut threads. Can't say anything. It's already solved. Also be touched again. With the heart of the sky and the moon card, you are already extremely blessed. And the corn is here to remind us to remember that and celebrate it. It's like saying that the entire oak is within the acorn. The heart of the sky. The entire cosmos is in the heart of the child's self. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The heart of the sky, the heart of the cosmos. Yes. The child's self. Which is going to be our closing message. But first, this may be a good time to reduce the volume on your listening devices if by chance you may be sound sensitive. I'm going to ring the bell and count up to 3 in honor of this angel number 222, emphasizing harmony, balance, success, abundance, faith, trust, and divine support, as well as that patience. 1, 2, and let's not forget this honorable message from Edwin. I value myself and the encounters of those who represent the same invaluable value. 2, 3. Ringing in all of the aforementioned blessings for the collective, as well as the ability to discern how to distribute your invaluable time, energy, love, and all other resources. So it is, so it is, so it is, and so it shall be. Invaluable resources. Your specific person wants you to guard them, but also look within yourself and see the invaluableness of them. Potent energy, like the sun and the moon and the child's self, embodied. Embody it. Time to come out of your cave. Confirmation. So both the jaguar in the very beginning and then the sun card towards the end, representing the same energy. Savor the life-giving light of our own star as it rekindles our passion and creative energy, calling us to shine our light and to add our lightness and humor to the seriousness around us. Also play matchy-matchy with the energy of the child. Our closing message. Our specific person, the collective specific person would like us to know that this is the way to joy. A return of a second innocence, born of wisdom. Remember what I was saying earlier about the heart of sky, reminding me of like an abstract depiction of the Ion Sophia, the essence of wisdom and divine wisdom, mind you, not just any, divine wisdom, all encompassing. So here we have it in multiple perspectives. But with the child, we let go of the story and become a mystery even to ourselves. Reconnecting with life and all life forms with a sense of childlike wonder. Freeing ourselves from the conditioning for suffering, becoming more unfettered, happy, choosing joy, Holy Spirit just said. Choosing joy. Our specific person would like us to choose joy. Our child selves will help us to climb out of that hole, that cavern, and also recover that sense of play. That sense of play and humor is mentioned twice with the son and the child. I just heard loosen up. Your specific person is like beckoning you to loosen up. Relax. And also remain open to new learning and discovery, which came out in the very beginning as well. Either being able to see your spouse or your partner with fresh new eyes, or moving along and setting your eyes on something fresh and new. Not out of boredom, but out of boundary setting. Now I'm hearing Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. Starting with ourselves, starting within. There's also course correction. Some kind of course correction coming into our lives without any form of punishment. So if you've been dealing with like any kind of fear, guilt, or shame around relationships, relax. You've done the inner work. You've done what's necessary to recover, rehabilitate, become more refined. by a fire that doesn't burn. It lights you up. Do more of what lights you up. Your specific person wants you to start doing more of what lights you up. Final message. Bottom of the deck, the tree of life. To find health and balance first. Reflecting on how you dance with your own actions, thoughts, and feelings. If you're too much in your thinking head or in a world of fantasy and daydreaming, connect more with your roots and your physical body. Head in the clouds, but feet on the ground. It's okay to be that visionary, but we have to be grounded visionaries. Head in the clouds, but feet in the ground is also that bridge between the spiritual and the mundane. A hemisync that we are being called to align with. A balance between our own divine masculine and divine feminine. Archetypes, aspects, and energies of all sorts. Be a conscious creator. I was just taking a moment to read the chat, you guys. It's more about not what future you want to relive. I just heard star seeds. Reflect on the fruit that you would like to bear and start sowing new seeds. And now I'm hearing about the fruits of the Spirit. Be a conscious creator in alignment with the fruits of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self control that reflect that ion Sophia, that Sophia Christos, that Christ, God-like, Christ-like energy. Produced in us through the Holy Spirit. That is the message. I want to thank you so very much. Multiversal Soul. Amelia. For tuning in. At any given moment, you can see time in all of its infinite potential. One vast, all-encompassing, then shrunk and finite, depending on the perspective. Break free from the limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcome the cycle of quality, the cyclic quality of time. The true test of the time master being invited to take back our power, let go of the past, and choose to step into our lives. In this moment, we are all powerful. We are the time master, and anything is possible now. From my heart chakra to yours, brightest of blessings and agape, omni love to all. And one more thing. You are beautiful, no matter what they say. I love you. You. I do. I do. I do.